Well, hello, Bobby.
How you doing, sexy ass Mandy
Haha.
Maytag? How you
Oh,
doing, girl?
I'm doing well. It's been a great start to 2022.
Oh
And
my God, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I need to hear some good news.
oh, well, 2021 really was a change in the dynamic of how business works for me. I was no longer having to really tell people who I was anymore because my platforms had been built. I was getting merchandise. I was flying all over Timbuktu. Um, and that had changed from the earlier years of having to tell people who I was, having to push a couple little products that I had to build all these platforms and then watch them go through their things, like OnlyFans and Pornhub with their little issues. And so, with that dynamic came a change in income, a dramatic change
Mm,
in income for somebody like me. And that brought people that needed help. And I'm a big
mm.
pushover. If you ask me to my face, it's really hard for me to tell you no. So you guys don't don't use that against me, please. Because I mean, I can when I now it's a little easier online, but like to my face, if you come up and say, "Hey, we got kicked out of our house. Can I have somewhere to stay?" I'm going to go, "Yes."
Yeah.
So with that came helping a lot of people, a lot of property damage. I don't think it was intentional. Just I lost a car out of the deal because I lost a
Mm.
key and the ignition got taken out. And well, not the ignition so much as like the steering column and a wire, and it was an Infinity, so the computer and stuff it's just got to be so. So
Yeah.
uh, the year came to an end, and I have gotten rid of all the extra people. So it's back my family, my offspring and I, and really have
Mm.
going through some changes in friends. Really pretty much got rid of a lot of people, and I have refocused uh, and had to implement kind of some new changes with
Mm-hmm.
Maytag Media as far as hiring somebody to help with um, accounting and someone to help with
Yeah.
the computer. I'm thinking of actually getting a office, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's been the big change. It's just been kind of like a uh, what's when you kind of come bring it back to the beginning. I'm usually great with words. Refocus. I had to
Yeah.
like kind of refocus. I had to bring it on back to the core. So
Yeah.
because if I make that kind
Most
of money this
definitely.
year, I'm going to have a lot. I want to have a lot more to show for it. So
Oh, most definitely. So I just know this last year was a great year, and this year's gonna be even better year. And before I go any further, hello subscribers, how y'all doing? Welcome to the Premium Smoke. Excuse me, wrong episode. Damn, they let you know how much I've been fucking recording today. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app for anyone who's trying to start their own podcast career. All you got to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and start podcasting today. I'm your host, Calvin Arbor, Southern Champ. You know what it is. Find me, all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/porn rap star. Also, I want to tell you about our two sponsors. The first one being the Facebook L community, LS World, and the other one being Eroticism Magazine. So go to eroticismmagazine.com and go ahead and get yourself a subscription. Every month they drop a new magazine, either it's going to be paperback or digital. So go to riseismmagazine.com. Also, I want to add another sponsor. Excite Bunny is now a sponsor to the podcast. I am now an ambassador. So, for all you content creators looking for a new place to go to sell your content, and I'm talking about 90%, not 80%, you get
ooh,
90 with excitebunny.com. Go there today. Become a brand ambassador. Be a content creator. And for you fans, also, you can go there and see your favorite porn star and unlock their stuff. And it's a way better site than OnlyFans. So go to excitebunny.com. And also, I want to tell you about uh, our newest spot, of course, SkyhawkAfterDark.tv. Go there today. Go there to my personal page where you can hear the podcast, or you can hear the podcast via the medium of the radio station. So go to SkyhawkAfterDark.com, BTV.com, and check me out. Now, let's get to it.
wow! Look at you. This podcast must really be growing.
Oh
All those
yes, and
sponsors.
I'm proud to say that right now in the top three of good pods and sexuality, as far as and
Awesome.
number 1 point. So and things been growing on this end. You know, you part of
I
it.
am glad.
You have helped
That's
me out a lot
wonderful.
because you are one of the favorite ones. That's why I had to bring you
Oh,
back because you know our fans love them some Mandy. They
what? No way. I was saying this
love
has got to
them
be my
some.
fourth time. I didn't know I was
Yes,
like
it
that, but
is.
that makes me
Yeah.
want to start mine sooner. Dude, dang.
Oh, hey, shoot! I already got Havoc Daily as well as Billy Pilgrim. We doing podcasts and another lady by the name of Miss Spit Queen. I'm this year I'm opening up my platform a little bit more for people to if they want to do the podcast, get into it. I can help them. We can do a show together and we can see what happens. You know, period. So
Ooh,
hell
so
yeah,
much
and it's
I want to
going
talk
good
about,
too.
just in general.
Oh yeah, I've been told you podcast ready. You a guest and a host. I'm sorry, you give hot takes. I love it.
That's great.
And,
That's right.
and
Yeah. I did an interview recently with the Black Jelly Bean Show. It's
mm,
a man out of photography out of New York and stuff. And he and his wife do the podcast. And I said, no, don't let me take over. Don't let me take over because I'll get to blah, blah, blah. And they were like, at the end, they were like, you are right. Like, you really had a lot of information. I said, yeah, I'm more than a long tongue and a deep throat. So,
mm. Yeah, because I think because it was like I tell people this podcast thing opens the door for men opens the door in different ways when it comes to porn because one people want to hear our stories
true.
now they want to know how the sausage is being made because it used to be a time where they didn't want to know about porn this that, and third. Now if you tell somebody you're a porn star they start asking you questions about the
Um,
business,
that's the
you
biggest
know.
need I see in the. How do I
It,
get in the industry? How do I get in the industry?
yeah, so it's like now people are hungering for the knowledge, and that's why these podcasts are now becoming, no. I didn't even know that Alexis Texas had a podcast the other day, and I'm sitting there like, man, she up here got them doing top rappers and shit. I'm like, damn, boy, you making me strive for something.
Good. I'm just so glad to hear you got all these sponsors, and a couple of those sounded really great. The magazine and the one that pays the bunny. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
Excite Bunny. And what's crazy about them? They're black owned, the only black owned platform in
Ooh,
porn.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I just talked to him today. I was like, he said, yeah. Oh, by the way, we black owned. I said, oh, dude, you know I'm signing up. You got me just off of that because I've been saying why there's no black owned platforms like that or OnlyFans,
Right.
period. And I've been saying that this is the new Reconstruction era to where we could actually in on industry and become bosses and become major players down the line and create generational wealth. Something we wasn't able to do back when we was released from slavery. But that's a conversation for another day, though.
It's deep too. It is a deep one. I keep learning all the time.
Yeah,
So that's wonderful. That 90% payout, baby. That sounds good. I could definitely
oh yeah,
go for a lucrative platform. So
oh
that's the
yeah,
best I've ever heard.
and they knew they haven't even been up for a year. So I'm curious. I'm gonna be watching them and stuff. And plus, there's a lot of perks of being an ambassador. I got to look into it more. But shit, it's every fucking thing involved. I was
Ooh.
like, really? Y'all fly us out? Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll sign up. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to make sure you get your quota.
Oh, nice.
So I get me
Awesome.
a free trip. Now, speaking about, saying progressing,
Mhm.
you have progressed to the greatly over the past year to the point that now you at the level now that you actually need a team. Speak to that.
Oh, goodness. Well, when you're new, you have to teach people, you have to tell people who you are. You have to grab their attention with, photos, videos, just being in their face. And then you don't have that much content because you're new. Um, Luckily, I was a content queen before I was in the industry. So I was always recording this and that, and this past year, 2020 during COVID, I traveled around with a colleague and we went and worked with a lot of people because they were available, they were eager to shoot and do something, so we got a lot of one-on-one experiences rather than going to a convention or a content event. And that really boosted my name, getting the content with a variety of different people and getting, some of their good work because they were just so eager to work. So, getting all that out there and working on the major platforms, which I had avoided, like the big tubes and hubs. I had avoided because, I was in a group of friends that thought, why would we give our stuff away for free? Not realizing, the paid views, the premium views, the whole thing with Model Hub before they lost their merchant agreement with Visa and MasterCard. So when I got on those platforms and I saw that people just loved my stuff, it blew me up fast because, like you said, people used to not want to talk about porn and stuff, but now, you tell them who you are and they want to go look you up real quick. And when you're on those big platforms, like, ooh, and I've had to tell people, you realize that I'm putting those videos up there. It's not that these companies I'm working for and stuff are, because I make and own almost all my own content. And then, so I didn't have to tell people who I was anymore. So, and I had got enough content under my belt now where I can give some away for free. And then you kind of learn the algorithm. You kind of want to give the promo for free, at least so many minutes so it's monetized, and then you send them over the premium. So now it's to the point when I go to major cities. I had a pizza delivery guy in Atlanta when I was here last month. I'm here right now. That delivered a pizza, then called me 10 minutes later, and he was like, I know you. I was like, what? He said, I said, where do you think you know me from? He was like, the internet. And I was like, yeah, that's right. He's like, I can't believe it. I delivered a pizza to you. So I was like, yeah, so that's kind of cool. So as I've grown, I don't really have to spend so much time telling people who I am because, I've passed like the 30 million views on one site, X videos. And that's a lot of views. If you've ever seen like $1 million or a million of anything, it's a lot.
Of views. Yes,
it's so and it's worldwide. I have people contact me from all over the world. Like I talk to this guy pretty regularly from Greece, and he's like, somebody showed me your tongue picture there. So anyway, the dynamic has changed to where, it used to be a lot more. Well, this is one thing I miss that I'm hoping to get back to with my team, and that is like the engagement. Having that time to engage, get on the platforms daily, get on your socials daily, and just say, hey guys, this is me. This is part of my regular day, or look out for this new thing, or let me do a little tease for you guys right now, and or whatever it is. Because as you're traveling and traveling and traveling, you're getting away from that because you're driving or flying, you're getting checked into hotels, you're getting yourself ready for whatever events you're there for. And you kind of get away from that. Like I forget to like just get on and make little updates like, oh, look behind the scenes, or focus because I wear a couple different hats, so either, I'm producing and acting or whatever. So then I have to, and plus being a female with the hair and the makeup and the outfits.
Yeah.
And then setting up lights and then test and all that. You lose some of that interaction time, and then you even lose time like for editing and whatnot. And you got to try to your family and your home life and obligations. So as I've grown, I've discovered that where my strengths and weaknesses are, and where I could use help, and what your goals are to maintain your career, and then where you want to look forward into what you're hoping to do long term. So for me, I realized that my accounting is a definitely weak spot, like tracking what's in and out. I have some apps and stuff that do some of that, but I know how to make the money and I know how to spend the money, but I really need to get more, like you talk about generational wealth and stuff like that. I need to get into where I'm making that money work for me more. As well as I've had a website up since COVID. I had it built for a very good price because it was the times where people were home, they were out of work, and somebody hit me up about graphics. I said, you know what I need? And Jordan over at Defect Designs he said, what's your budget? He worked with me and we got it built. But here's the thing, I don't write code. And so I just gave him some filler pictures and some basic bio and let him go to work. He built it.
Mm-hmm.
And now every year I go and I update my all the things I got to pay for, the domain name and
Mm-hmm.
the hosting and all that. And I've never added like my merchant processor because those are tough being in the adult
Mm-hmm.
industry. They don't want to, be crossing into that potential uh, trafficking and whatnot with the FOSTA-SESTA Act. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
hard to find like a processor. But I've heard of like Indie Wallet and things like that. But I really need to
Mm-hmm.
be on top of that because really you want to
Mm-hmm.
keep that website as your primary.
Yeah,
Uh,
because that was the thing I was saying, that is where, when it comes to the porn stars, where you're gonna see a lot of them heading is having, you're gonna see a lot more standalone sites,
and
because the
really,
way that these sites are going is forcing us to do that. Because one, a lot of the videos that girls like to do, they probably make money for them, they can't really put on those sites, period. And then also you talking about the paperwork and all that and stuff. And have a company that has that 2257 already is a difference versus a company that don't. Because that's what people don't realize. The reason why OnlyFans ask for all that paperwork, they don't have a 2257 attached to their site. Those that do, they ain't worried about the paperwork unless somebody hits them up and says, "Yeah, Mandie Maytag got some unauthorized shit on her shit." That's when they come bother you.
you're
You
right.
know what I'm
And they seem
saying?
to bother men. Any guy that I've known that started one, and same with Pornhub, if they've started one of those sites, they'll come after you like, hey, where's your paperwork?
Yeah.
Um, so definitely heard of that. Every guy I know that we've gotten in depth talking about that has said that same thing. So
They did that with
I've got
Rude. Because with Rude, back in the day with Rude.com, I don't think you was in the game then.
no.
Women could become a producer like that within a week. Men, it took me like 4 tries over 6 years to finally get approved to make money with Rude. And then 3 years later, they shut Rude down.
Oh goodness. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like with that, by centralizing into your own website, not necessarily one that's run by, say, like Model Centro or something.
Yeah.
So they're another site. They take 40%, and they tell you how and what you can do. With
Yeah.
your own site, you are going to leave your competition in the dust if they're only advertising on social media and things like that. But also, a young person, I love getting advice from young people, like because sometimes these kids come out of high school and college
And
running
they just
circles.
know. Yeah,
They
they just
just know
know.
they were raised. I mean, it's crazy to think all my children were born since the internet is commonplace. But they'll come out and they'll know. But they'll say, "Well, why don't you do an app?" And I was like, "Ah, oh, really? I mean,
Yeah,
that sounds pretty
actually,
fun."
that's what actually, I'm very surprised that no porn star has went that route yet. Because I know, like, YouTuber Tasha K, she has her own app. And to me, that's next level. That's
It
actually
is.
better than having an actual website, because the app is a little bit more accessible and everyone like using their phone.
That's
And
true.
so actually that's a brilliant idea, to be honest with you.
And that was a young person that told me that. I've gotten a lot of advice from, I was interviewing managers last year, and they all had different advice. But the young one said, you just need to go viral. And I was like, man, that is really smart.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes. It's just that one little clip or video um, that everybody grabs onto and says, whoa, and they share and they like. So,
Mm-hmm.
young people, I've learned a lot of marketing from young girls back when the premium Snapchat days and things like that. But these platforms love to let us help them get their numbers up and get themselves built, like Instagram, Snapchat. And then at some point they say, oh, we're going to go family friendly now and yank the rug out from underneath you. We see it time
Mm-hmm.
and time and time again. You get your account deleted, you get suspended. The whole site messes up like Pornhub or OnlyFans. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're not having something centralized that's wonderful, that where people can find you, then you can lose everything overnight. In a
Mm-hmm.
sense, I remember my premium snap was my bread and butter in 2018 and 2019. When I lost that account, I just angered some girl. I think I called her catfish or
Yeah.
something. because she was just really, we were doing a share for share, like, hey, I'm going to promote your page, you promote mine. And I had done it, and she was just pushing. I was like, I've done it. Look, chill. And then, oh, I yelled at her. I looked at my friend and I said, I'm about to lose my account. And I ran everything on one. I ran the promo and the premium on one account. Oh, goodness. So when I lost that, I just was like, I didn't think I could go on. But then, but then, OnlyFans started picking up, and that became like the bread and butter of last year. But I really love my website. I'd love to be selling my merchandise there, having a calendar.
And the website give you more freedom. It just gives you more freedom in general.
Right. And when I go in there and I start messing with the code, I mess it up every time, but I want to get like a nice series of pictures. I want to have that all centralized. So I got to get it. So I've hired somebody recently. He's currently on a probationary period, basically to see if it's something he wants to do and it's something that's going to work for me. We've done the non-disclosure. We've sat and just writing out the business plan and all that is like, it's so much. All the different revenue streams, all the different platforms, the different ways we make money. We make money online, we make money in person, and we make money with tangible items that need to be shipped and things like that. So breaking all that down to him and the money now, and you get my website looking, top and processing everything, that'd be great, because then you can sales funnel everything back toward your website. And if you're running your own, getting your own processor, you're only losing a few percent versus 40%, for these other people hosting you, basically. It's just like you were touching on, there's so much red tape. There's still so much red tape in this age where, we're cussing on TV and the radio and everything else, and things are getting more and more sexualized, and we still have so much red tape. And I do understand it's to protect people that are not voluntarily in the sex world. And I'm for that 100%. But also, in time, we need to get it kind of straightened out where people that it's not a foot on the neck to people that are doing it properly.
You see, I think what happened is that the government can't catch up with the internet, because the way it's changing is always changing left and right. From algorithms to how people make money on the internet to just in general. Because even when I think about when the internet, I'm giving my age, when it was, what was it, Netgate?
Oh yeah, Netgear and AOL.
And what was it? I can't even
Prodigy.
think of it. Busted Baby Doll was actually one of the top sites back in the day. Period. It was hard as fuck to get your own site. Because CC Bill, that's one, because they were so strict. And then also, not everybody knew how to build a website. What I'm saying? That was a rarity back in the day. Now, shit, you can find the dude next door that know how to do the shit.
Yeah, or some kid fresh out of high school or college.
Yeah. But they're the ones you grab. You know what I'm saying? So
it's true.
Because even to me, I remember when I couldn't do CC Bill, I had to go through another company like them, but they was in Canada. But the problem was I had to manually give the pass, the passcodes, the
IP and stuff.
The passwords and all that shit. Man, that shit was hell, yo. That shit
was
hell.
Right. Yeah. So that's some of the areas I need help. So I've got that. So I've got a team. I've got another person that really helps me out on the road when I drive. So when I'm going to go on a long tour and I have several places to be, I have a lady that will drive me. She'll keep me safe. Make sure I eat something that was grown out of the ground recently, drink some water. She just don't like hearing me getting down. She's like, it gets annoying. But so I try to get her own room, or get a room or Airbnb or whatever that has like its own door and stuff like that. So some places is easier than others, but she's amazing. So that's what I've had to do, and it's like, you just have to make it because it's going to be hard to find people that are going to love your company the way you love your company.
That's the hard part.
So, I've decided, if somebody has some other ideas to throw around, I'd love to hear them. But I decided to go with a percentage. So that way, the better
Mm-hmm.
I do, the better they do.
Yeah,
So,
that's just the best way to be when you first start. Because, like I tell people, it ain't about money; it's about growth. And the hardest part to get somebody that's going to stick by you through the growth and when it's not money, period.
right.
So when you find that person, trust me, you latch on to them. Because the
Yes.
question I want to ask you is this: because a lot of girls they quick to jump on getting the agent, the PR shit. In your opinion, when do you go the route of finding an agent or putting together a team? Because sometimes girls do it too soon and they ain't ready for that shit. So when do you think is a perfect time for a girl to sit back and say, okay, now I need to build a team?
Um, See, I kind of look at, and just from my experience, I see two categories of sex workers, of porn stars specifically. Um, I see ones that just have agents, they start that way. And then I see the people that build from the ground up, because there is so many people that can do it now, and so many people are doing it, that it's kind of cut out the need for the agent, for the Hugh Hefners, for the contracts and flying to, LA for a month and making all this money and working for one company here and there or whatever. So the only people I've ever really known with agents are usually just young, gorgeous girls in like Miami and LA and stuff, that just went straight to an agency. Um, uh, so I don't really know people that have like started with a team so much, unless it's like a husband wife team, or something like that, where um, the wife gets into it and the husband is like her manager. He runs her sites and things like that. I see that a lot. Actually, people are always like, "What? Porn stars are married?" I'm like, "Yes, a lot of them are married." It's just because they can be comfortable with this type of income. It's like I see it all the time. Everybody's cuffed up. Not, well, a lot of people are. So, um, of course, they got families and go to PTA meetings and everything else like everyone else. So, I even had a foster kid last year. So, I mean, if I thought, yeah, that's one for the sex worker right there. I was like, all right, all right. So, I was super kind of excited about that. I felt like a victory, but, and that's in a conservative Bible Belt state. So,
Mm-hmm.
as far as a team, like, some people get start with a spouse or start with an agent, but I find that those are usually very young, gorgeous types. Um, so I don't really know. I really can't speak too much on that. I just know for my growth,
But
and I
but
know that.
but to me, it seemed like to me, okay, when girls get with the agents, they seem like they be more so stuck because okay, like when I look at PR in porn, you're doing a lot without a PR person or what we call it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
I mean, you're literally building a lot.
mhm.
Um, you're doing more than the girls that have the PR agent or the agent. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You're gaining more. It's because, like, for example, if I have a PR, your job is to get me shit outside of porn so that or to set me up so when I do step away from the game, I got something going. You don't see that with
Okay.
them. You know what I'm
No,
saying? With the agents,
they're
they're
getting
getting
paid
them.
different too. They're getting
Yeah,
paid per
yeah,
scene, and that's a one and
yeah,
done.
yeah. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like to me, does agents what the agents what role the agents really play in this business to a certain extent when it's a business where producers really don't want to talk to agents, they want to talk to the girl directly anyway.
Right. I have run into an issue with an agent. She actually represented two stars that I really admire, and I had a friend that wanted to. Um, he had some money. He said, "I want to hire this girl," and I said, "Oh, I see she represents this guy that I like as well." And I've met both of them, had friendly conversations with them. I'm pretty sure both of them know who I am. Um, and I went to their agent, and basically what she did was act as like a gatekeeper to them. She was kind of almost condescending with like, "Oh, are you a fan? Oh," and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hang on," And she spent more time trying to discredit me than represent her clients. I had three questions: Are they
Yeah.
interested? Are they available? What do they charge? And
Mm-hmm.
she just danced around it. Finally, the day I was getting ready to email and just say, you know what, forget it. Like, you ruined this for them. If they were, and I just got one from her, said that they weren't interested. I don't even know if she ever said anything to them, So she seemed to act more as a gatekeeper, like a first line of defense, to make sure that they're only working with the best or what have you. But I've also seen both these people work with kind of no names, and I was in Vegas. I was a good location, and we're not trying to ship them off to Europe or anything like that. Um, so I spent a lot of time trying to tell her who I was, and she's like, "Well," she was asking me where am I? I was coming to Vegas to work with a company. She's like, "Where are you going to put your content?" I was like, "That is so irrelevant." But I see an agent's role as like getting them jobs,
Mm-hmm.
but also they're going to get their cut. So that you're going to have to be so in demand, at least with your
Mm-hmm.
looks. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
young, or with male talent, I tell guys all the time because they're always asking me how to get in the industry. I tell them all the time that men are very in demand
Yeah,
because they
because
want
there's not a
that
lot
look good
of
and
us.
perform. There's
Yeah,
not,
there's not.
because it's not what you think it is when you get into it, and it's more expensive and it's more difficult than you expect, and you just
Yep.
don't last. If you can get
Yeah,
somebody to give
because
you a
I'm
chance,
sorry, that TTS is a beast to pay. I mean,
it
because you talking
really
about,
is.
because I could, like, when I look at Finney, I know Finney spending about a damn grand a month.
He's got
I know
I
he's
mean,
spending
at least
2 grand, if not.
two at least two tests a month. At least the most I've
That's what
ever
I'm saying.
paid was $315 in Topeka, Kansas. I paid $315. That's the highest I've ever paid for talent testing, and so I can imagine doing that twice a month. I mean, that's somebody's rent where I live.
You ain't
So
lying. You ain't lying. So I'm gonna ask you this, because it's something you brought up, and I done ran into this a couple of times, even with agents, even models. Don't you hate when people don't give you the respect of being a professional and being a top porn star, and that you done built up cachet? Because
yeah,
a lot of times, because we're not AVN, people talk to us a certain way because we're not a certain level that they feel we are. Speak to that, how that makes you feel, and and all that good shit.
in a sense, it almost made me feel bad for how I talk to my fans sometimes because you get hit with the same stuff over and over,
Mm-hmm.
and so you kind of almost have like a prepared reaction for like an eye roll, like, oh goodness, um, you know, uh, and so it was kind of one of those things. I don't consider myself a top porn star, but my rank I think is
Mm-hmm.
decent for considering the obstacles that I have,
Mm-hmm.
my age, my location, even the type of content I film is not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I run into things like that. But yeah, it felt kind of like I was real professional with her. I was like. I was calling her miss. I was formatting my letters properly to her, and she was just kind of coming back. She wasn't addressing me or anything. She just kind of just tried. She just spent like two or three emails just trying to discredit me, and I just was like, wow. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
can go and just look up my name and see
Yeah.
that I'm out there. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe at the time I wasn't out there as much. It was December of last year, so I've definitely grown a
Yeah.
lot since then.
But see, my thing of it is this to me. This is how I look at it. You have a hit list, and when and because I had this conversation with another model, I look at a woman's hit list because sometimes, especially in this day and age, you can't just go off of not. I gotta put this: iron sharpens iron. You have a hit list. You didn't work with top of the line male porn stars. Actually, I can sit there and say you didn't hit some of the top 10. That's my
I've definitely hit some of the top. I, when I look through the top 100 on like X videos, there are several in there that I've worked with, several,
you
and
know what
some
I'm
even
saying? Yeah.
twice.
So
So
so to me, you deserve that respect. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I hate when I see females, like, even when it comes to the male talents, like the disrespect that they may have for them when they hit them in there, when they want to give them, talk about a deposit. This dude that shot with it. This nigga been nominated for AVN. You talking about a fucking deposit? He can do more for you than you can do for him. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It's
right.
like you want people to recognize your work and respect that, so that when
Mhm.
you do business with them, yo, okay, yeah, she's legit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like some motherfuckers just don't. They don't understand that. They don't respect. What's missing nowadays in this business is respect for experience. That's what I'm getting at.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Respect for experience.
I
You
see.
know, period.
Yeah,
You
I've
know.
run into a lot of that. I get a lot of people asking me for advice, and even people that have been with major companies for long amounts of time will come to me and say, "How do I do it like you're doing it?" And I just really have to accredit it to the people that I got with early on because that's how they were doing it. I kind of think that every area seems to have its own way uh, that they operate. We're going to have like the
Mm-hmm.
LA and Miami types that have their agents, and there's the big
Mm-hmm.
companies are there and whatnot, and Vegas. And then there's like the South and the
Mm-hmm.
Midwest. They really are the hustlers that are like
Mm-hmm.
grassroots, own your own content like that. And then there's the New York clique, and they have kind of both going on up there. But it seems like either you're in or you're out. There can be several people, there's several companies, and it's like if you work with this one, they don't like you because you worked with this one, or if you work with that one, they don't like you, or if you
Mm-hmm.
were kind of in a group and the group of you were all working with each other and they decided one person was out, the whole group kind of says you're out. I just know that in not because I've been in it, but I've just talked to enough people up there that said, yeah, and they'll say, oh, we don't like this guy. Or they won't even say we, they'll say, oh, yeah, I don't like that guy. But I'll notice everybody from that area is going, yeah, I don't like that guy or whatever. And I'll say, oh, I wonder what happened. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if there's a story behind it or what, but it seems kind of clickish. You're in or you're out.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had great experiences up north
Mm-hmm.
with the people that I've worked with up there. So just really fantastic. Um, so yeah,
But I
respect for
think the reason why with New York, because they have longevity. Because like I said before, there was
true.
Atlanta, it was New York. So
Yes.
it's kind of like you got more experience up there on how to handle the business than you would Atlanta. Because I mean, cause even when I came in the game, Atlanta had maybe two companies at best. One of them being Dame Streets. He was one of the main ones, and he really had a company. He was shooting for people. And Lex Meyer. Lex Meyer got what was not the it won't fatness. What the name of his shit? Um I can't think the name of Lex Meyer's site, but them were the only guys that were doing that out of Atlanta. Everything else was
Hmm.
New York on the East Coast. From
Hmm.
Rick Nasty to Busty Baby Doll to Cyber Sensations to Power
Yeah.
Bosom. You know what I'm saying? Black Tails magazine was based out of New York, so
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure if you back in the day you would have been in. Oh shit, I already know your ass would probably did Busted Baby Dolls, and I already know New York. You have been shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the game has changed a lot. So, but go ahead and
Yeah.
finish. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, that's just what I've noticed. It's just a different work ethic. So as far as like people that have agents and build teams like when they should, I really don't know anyone that's gone from now I know people that have gone from agents and now they are transitioning into their own websites and owning their content
Mm-hmm.
and then because once you build your name, there's a lot you can do with that.
Yeah,
But if you're contracted with an agent, you're paying them also, and they could, if they're your front line of defense, and they're the ones out there getting you your job. um, they could be ruining opportunity for you also, and you may not even know. Um,
yeah,
or you
actually,
can have a great one that is really getting you what you deserve. But in the end at the end, unless
now here's the
you really
question, because
invested, like unless you really invested your money right, uh,
mm,
like you don't get that ongoing revenue. You don't get the like I call it set it and forget it. I'm trying to get to I'll set it and forget it where I make it, edit it, post it, and then it just sits there and makes money. You know,
mm-hmm.
I don't care how many platforms I got to be on. I'll put it on all of them, or have my team do it.
Yeah, because it's kind of like I look at like the music game because I came from that.
Hmm.
It's like girls like with this last generation, they were so stuck on just being on fans, right?
Hmm.
And it was kind of like to me, even early in the days, I kind of just knew you want your shit everywhere. because it makes sense because okay then yeah you might have your main hub which is your website, okay,
Mhm.
you know, but not everybody wants a membership. Some people want a clip. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
There's some people that, and I know this happened to some girls when they try to get their subscription base, their subscribers from OnlyFans to move over. Some motherfuckers just, we dudes, we're stubborn. If we like that platform, we ain't moving. We stick with our routine. Like for example, when I get up in the morning, first thing I do, look at my look at all my sites and go to Plumper Pass. Before that, back in the day, it was this succession. Busted Baby, Plumper Pass, Brazer.
Now, is that
Routine,
for
you know.
viewing enjoyment or to check your money?
No, we're really the view, and then we're Busty more so to see, okay, what girl should I holler at to bring down
There
here.
you go.
You
There
know what
you
I'm
go.
saying? But and then of course Plumper Pass to see it what he's doing, what type of scenes he's shooting, who's the hot girl. Once again, scoping who I might could holler at for a shoot. You know,
Yeah,
period.
platooning, huh? That makes
Yeah,
sense.
even you got to because I mean, at the end of the day, because like I said, the way people don't realize the way I did the game was I was in the business of building the girl, so I wasn't in the business of building myself.
Oh,
So it was kind of I was playing because that was the role of producers back in the day. Like if you came out, let's say 2010, right?
hmm.
Well, actually, you did it, but when you went to play hard, you basically did what the girls were doing back in the day when I came in. They
Well,
hooked up
yeah,
with a
I helped them
producer.
launch. I was the catalyst that kind of like pushed them into the starting doing the adult star. I was their first girl,
Yeah,
and things like that. So we really launched that brand. I remember, high fiving, uh, after the first shoot and being like, look, we did it. We did it. I never expected, I don't, knew wasn't owner or anything like that, but I still felt like a part of that
yeah.
launching that brand.
Because even with, and I'm pretty sure Ken said it himself, our job was to find the next hot chick and blow her up. If we blow her
That
up, that
makes
will attract
perfect
more.
sense.
Yeah, that'll attract more girls to come to us. And we was the intermediate to the major companies. Because I know he sent girls to Plumber Pass. Hell, I was sending girls to motherfucking Gavor and TT Boy. Fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I did some of the girls I didn't work with that was under me is right now on covers of some of the DVDs that y'all motherfuckers used to watch back in the day. Straight up.
Awesome.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying?
funny how that dynamic has changed too from DVD
Yeah.
and things like that to everyone can do it, everyone can post, with the right paperwork or whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
there's I tell people there are people that are making these. Uh, it'll be a couple, and they basically shoot the same thing over and over and over and over, but give it different clever names,
Yeah.
and they don't have any face. They don't, they're not going by necessarily looks. They're going by whatever it is in their content that's really pushing them. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I started discovering those, going, whoa. And this has so many views because I clicked on it because of the title and it's something I was interested in. And then I go and it shows you the recommendeds and it's more of their stuff. And then I see, wow, it's the same couch, the same girl bent over the couch, the same guy. But this one is like, uh, stepdad fucks daughter for the Xbox pass. And then this other time it's husband's fresh out of prison and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But it's the same scene over and over and over. And I thought, wow, okay. Okay. So, the whole way that it's just changed what people are viewing now. You can put more amateur out there. You can put more pro out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the people with agents. There's people that are doing grassroots from the bottom up,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
it's
it's like basically it's funny as fuck to sit back because like I said with like when I interviewed Kelly Richards, I know one because she started in the 80s. So that's a total different level and era of porn that
oh yeah, VHS.
diff God, that's that's a totally different level. That we let you wanna know, and here's the sad part, their work was easier. I don't see how because they only fucked for like 10 minutes. We going 20 and 40 in this bitch. They going 7 minutes, two positions. And they get and the shit and we watched it and loved it.
Oh
You feel
yeah, and kept every single one, kept every magazine, kept every VHS. It wasn't so.
to watch
By now,
videos with no cum shot. Come on.
I'll watch the same. I'll click sometimes through several videos to find one that's really going to get me where I need to go as far as my own personal pleasure. But it's like almost like throwaway now. It's like we can almost just there's so much and it's so easily accessible. It really has changed.
Yeah, you had to go
Back then,
like a video.
back then you could kind of hide it from your family and friends or whatever, like
Yeah.
that you're out there doing that if they weren't the type to go into a video store or pay the pay-per-view at the hotel or on their satellite dish in the 80s to see the adult stuff. And plus you had to be like this, they had this, Hollywood used to tell us what looked great. They used to tell us, skinny with the fake boobs and the blonde hair and whatever, this type of lingerie. And people just went for it. But now we know that BBWs are hot. People like, say scars or certain fetishes, and there's so much more. It's so much more readily available. But we're now telling Hollywood what we think is hot. We want a big bar to be by your brand and things like that. So it's really, I think, cool.
Yeah,
you can kind of from the. Yeah, brother, it's one of his biggest fears is to come across my stuff when he's perusing one of the tube sites. Like, well, as long as you stay away from this genre, you'll probably be all right. But there's still that chance,
Yeah, my daughter's of age now that I've just prayed. I'm like, look, I really hope you just don't run into me on X videos. Your eyes are gonna be just totally. Your sight gonna be fucked up because you're gonna be seeing your dad doing some freaky ass shit.
Yeah. But as far as like creation, like production and stuff, being a producer, and I've had ideas, with the need for people that want to get in the industry. I've seen that as a need. I've developed like a business model of what I want to do. I've even had a meeting. I want it to be female owned, where we help people get their start. And we thought, well, if we could get to the point where, we could be producing the next big star. And then we could have a hand in that. We could even sign them, or whatever. But then the ones that just do all right, they're still going to bring the waves of viewers that are potentially buyers and potentially supporters long term. So there's so much to it, and it's so tedious because we have all these platforms. It's so tedious to get on and check every social media, every single platform. Then you have like custom orders and live services, at least for those of us that offer that, the sexting and the video chat. And then, if you have merchandise to ship out and things like that, it's like, it can be so tedious. I have to keep like this.
Because I'm going to tell you like one of the things that tripped me out. Right. And I was thinking about it. And just like now, the change with health department is not even thought of anymore.
Not for testing.
Yeah. It's kind of like that's how much, you know what I'm saying? But see, like I said before, one of the curses is that because it became easy to get in, it muddied up the industry. Period.
Definitely.
Because I don't care nobody say if you look at just the sites alone. Actually, let's just go 5 years ago. You didn't hear tests being faked like that. Even with health department. You feel me? It was these grimy motherfuckers who think they were smart that started doing it. Because like I said, because the first time I didn't hear anything about a fake test didn't come until like 2014.
Well,
Straight up.
For a long time, there wasn't even required testing. I mean, it's still not required.
Back in the 80s, they didn't test. They didn't really test.
Any reputable company, of course, is testing, but individuals, say they don't technically have to. But you'd be crazy to go to a convention without a test and try to work. I mean, with that, unless it's just fetish
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's not, with no fluids or whatever. But, I was thinking really, I think the sleaze has just changed, because I think before, the producers were slimy with the casting couches, and, people would, scouts and whatnot would look for like the runaways in LA and bring
Mm-hmm.
them in. And, I don't know if you've ever watched that, After Porn Ends, and heard some of these
Mm-hmm.
girls' stories, but it's just the sleaze has kind of changed from like, because I remember, I know this business owner in my town, and
Yeah.
she makes, nail colors for like the dip, the nail dip stuff. You can dip your nails in like this powder now, and they're really strong. But she creates colors for them, and she makes these different dipping powders. And we were just talking business one day, and she's like, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm actually a porn producer." She's like, "Whoa! Anyone I've ever known has been like a sleazy, nasty guy." And she's like, "So we kind of got to talking about how things have really changed, because people have a lot more power to become their own CEO, which is why I totally respect what ManyVids is doing
Mm-hmm.
as far as trying to show us as people that are skilled, we're smart, we're
Mm-hmm.
cool, and we're not necessarily like these damaged vessels that we were considered back in the day. And they're trying to show us how to be our own CEOs
And
and
see, I
kind of
think,
fight
and
the
that's the
stigma, but
difference.
also, they also have to follow all these rules and,
Yeah, that's
to
the
do
difference
that.
with this age now is that it is more normalized,
Yeah.
and which now brings us to the podcast side of things. That's why, like I said, it's funny how like spaces, podcasts, it's just like even when I started a year ago, about 3, 4 months in, I started noticing a lot of because before it was really people that was doing porn podcasts and talking about shit. Now it's us. And I
Hmm.
think we're coming to the age where we're now normalizing it and people want to know more about it and they want to look at it normal because you can't help it's in your face. It's in your face every day. From the
Yeah.
music to every part of it.
People want a nut, damn it.
Yeah,
That's how we got here. And
yeah.
it's, and then that's how we keep perpetuating our species, as well as pleasure and enjoyment and things like that. But that's it at some point in a guy's life, it almost becomes the most important thing
Yeah.
for a while, like besides, your food, shelter, water, security, whatever. Then as long as you're comfortable and you got your basic needs met, what do you want to do? You want to get that nut. So I think we're normalizing it. But I also think I really am happy with fighting the stigmas, fighting the
Yeah.
stigmas. Because I still have people ask me all the time, well, what do your kids know, or does everybody know, or
Mm-hmm.
and that's a fair question. And I always say, well, I talked to my kids about it before I even started.
Yeah.
Because now they're at the age they're in junior high and high school, and I really do worry about like them being bullied and whatnot. And I think my younger daughter, she has caught a little bit of that at school more
Mm-hmm.
recently. My older daughter, I don't think she has any problems with it. Now, besides like people asking, "What's your mom's name? What's your mom's name?" They want to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But the my younger daughter says, "Well, you guys can make fun of me if you want, but every time you go on to look her up to see her stuff, we get paid." So
Your daughter, give
yeah,
her
they're
and so
bright. They could
yeah,
run the world one day. They could rule the
no,
world one day.
I trip out when I hear girls say, "Well, I'm worried about my kids find out." I'm like, you understand? Your kid probably the coolest one, especially with the team, because he know two things. He or she know two things. Mama goes if she goes to go fuck on camera. I get new shoes, some new clothes. We get to go to Disney World. It Christmas is good.
They remember, when I started, I had the highest paid day job of my life. I was making more money at my last job,
Mm-hmm.
um, day job, than I'd ever made before. And we still struggled paycheck to paycheck. It was to the point where I was just getting down about it. I was so down. And
Mm-hmm.
then when the money started coming in, next thing you know, like I never had to tell them no anymore. I wasn't just taking them
Yeah.
to get their nails done. I was taking them and all their friends to Starbucks, and then we're going to all get our nails done. And it got to the point where we had this thing where when my youngest would always say, "Can we go to Walmart and get a drink?" And that was pretty much code for we're about to go blow $50 to $100, and that was almost a daily thing when we were in Florida. So,
Mm-hmm.
they remember us struggling and may have to say no. But now I've been able to be, well, other than the traveling, I've been able to be home with them, things like that. We were able to buy a new car this year. I was able to take them to an amusement park and things like that, which, that's not huge or anything, but, take a family trip. We were able to go to Christmas.
Like I said, off of
I was able to, including my ex-husband and his girlfriend, all out to Colorado and stuff like that. So those are things that I mean, when we were doing paycheck to paycheck, I mean, we knew what the budget was. I knew how much the bills were, and there was very little above and beyond that. Of course, I had benefits like the health and the 401k, but there's so many millions of ways to do that kind of stuff now to save for your future, to achieve like health care and things like that. So it just comes to a mindset. It is legit running a business. People are so confused thinking that it's turning on a camera and having sex on camera. And, people always ask me constantly, can I shoot? Can we shoot? Can we shoot? Can we shoot? Can we shoot? And I say, no. I'm pretty much shooting no all the time because they don't, until I know that they have the capacity to understand all that goes into it. I'm going to tell you no from now on. And plus, I've had a couple experiences. I'm not trying to go backwards and just have, the amateur type stuff does pay it is my bread and butter compared to my productions make my name. The amateur stuff makes my money.
I'm going to tell you what hurt my feelings, right? This is what girls used to do. When I hit them up, right? And they tell me no. And then they give me the reason. The reason they were like, well, I don't shoot amateur porn, this, that, and third. Now, and then I go back and look at her shit. And I look who she had worked with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I have the same setup as him. Actually, sometimes even more intricate than the person they had worked with. You feel what I'm saying? Period.
Mm-hmm.
Camera guy, straight up camera guy. The camera, expensive as fuck. Lights, the whole nine. Actually, some of his content was on TT Boy and Evasive Angles. Period. They paid him to do shoots every now and then. So I'm like, my dude is like legit. But then you look at my shit. And then what really hurt my feelings, you didn't even go look at my shit to begin with. You just automatically assumed because you looked at my Twitter way. But anyway, that's why I said to me, it's like when ladies say that, and I want you to explain that, what constitutes pro and amateur? The reason why, before you answer that, because if I'm shooting with a cameraman, I'm shooting high level like that, the studios that you're working with, the Bell Towers you're working with, and a girl says to me, well, I don't do amateur porn, which you saying that I'm amateur. What makes me amateur if I'm shooting exactly like what you came from and what you're doing anyway? You feel what I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another good topic is where is the line drawn between professional and amateur? Because on Pornhub, I'm considered amateur, and on Xvideos, I'm considered a pro. And, I like to own all of my own content. Therefore, and with me being a self-employed LLC owner, I consider that professional because that is my profession. Yeah. That is what I do for money. Mm-hmm. But for me, the line for my personal, what I consider the line between professional and amateur is pretty much the production quality. So it's going to be, like the cameraman, the good camera, the fact that you've edited it, put a watermark on it, the resolution, whatever, who's in it as well, versus, I'm smashing this Tinder match and I busted out my phone and we're recording and we're gonna put it on OnlyFans. That to me, that's kind of the difference in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because even the big companies, they have some shoots that are great and they have some shoots that are duds, and you can see them both when you go, to the tube sites, because they'll put that whole video up of one and they could still be incredible quality versus what most people are putting out. but what you expect from them is a little higher level. So you go, oh, I
Yeah.
kind of see that girl's kind of struggling.
See, that's why I say women, y'all are lucky. Y'all fucking lucky. Because like I said, because with dudes in our situation, because like I said before, I had both sides of the spectrum. I had the spectrum where a girl says, I'm not shooting amateur porn and consider me amateur porn, and I'm shooting at a high level. Then a chick on the other end, how can I put this? Never done any work in a professional setting of any kind, wanted to be paid professional. Like she just shot 5 to 6 or 8 scenes or shot for the ABN. You get where I'm coming from? So it's kind of like, to me, what constitutes professional is how you shoot.
Yeah, I think some people look at too. Am I getting pay up front?
Yeah.
Or am I getting content? Because people don't realize that most of the time you're going to get content. At least for most of us creating our own stuff. Because I remember I've helped a couple people get started, and they say, "How much are we getting paid? How much are we getting paid? How much are we getting paid?" I said, "Oh no. It's what you're going to put into it, really. Because if you get paid, it's a one and done. You get paid the one time. If that's $1 million, you're not seeing any more of that, unless by some chance there's a royalty, which I've never heard of, in your contract. So and to get those kind of shoots, you're probably going to have an agent. Getting those opportunities or ruining those opportunities, and you're having to pay them also. So and if you're, go ahead.
Because see, to me, it's like I said before, it's like I said before, that's how I look at what professional shoot is. Because it's like, to me, I want to go to the simplest, the bones of the matter. The bones is, if I want to shoot for Brazer, I have to shoot in my personal professional like that I would be shooting for Brazer. Because I was taught this old school. If a girl want to go to Playboy, you got to submit pictures that meets Playboy standards. That's how you get girls work with Busty. I'll sit there and look at Busty, look at the poses that she do, and I get the girls do the similar poses, and I give her professional looking pics. She get the normal stand, I don't think you know, stand straight to with your hand to your side, front, back, and side.
Oh,
then I send her
casting shots.
Yeah, and then I send her the model shots, and they're shot professionally done because I always had a professional camera when I did it. And they got them work. Same thing with TT Boys. Same thing with everyone else. So it's kind of like, to me, if you ain't putting that out, then no, I don't consider you professional. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you want to get to the next level, the game did not adjust to you, you adjust to it. So if you want to be big time, just like with you big time, right? Let me tell you what I barely see from you. A fucking selfie from a goddamn phone. Let me tell you what I always see on your fucking timeline. Yeah, I'm giving her motherfucking roses. Professional, pro, modelish, sex symbol, sexy, hot pics. I don't give a fuck if you got your tongue sticking out. This shit looks, it was shot by a professional photographer. You feel me? So in turn, it makes you look like money, which in turn makes guys want to spend money, which in turn make big companies want to book you because they say, well, she looked like that. I wonder what she looked like that for us. You feel me? Hello? Hello?
Black Wall Street is now online, baby. That's right. Visit the GW District. Shop the very best in men's and women's apparel and accessories, home decor, office supplies, books, pantry items, and so much more. The GW District is a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media. We're both veteran and Black-owned, and we're bringing you the best online shopping experience with products made by small businesses. Come and experience the GW District difference today at shopgwdistrict.com. That's shopgwdistrict.com. The GW District, a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media.
That's right.
That's right.
App. We
I
done
guess
talked
so.
broke the motherfucking app. Just let you know we be some good potting today, bruh. Some good potting
That last
today.
one was so long. Yeah, the one that we did, about that one company. But what I was saying is like I do have a lot of selfies, more on Instagram because that it's so pic heavy, But I do try to, of course, pick your best pictures and stuff. But I'm always surprised at who follows me and starts, talking to me in my DMs and have no idea what I do. They just see the tongue or something about me and they're like, "Hey, girl," or I mean, I've had that several times, and then I have to kind of spring it on them and see what that does.
Oh no, they saw that tongue. They're like, "Hold up, who this?"
They're like, "Whoa,
Big
yeah."
tongue
So
and a long tongue. Oh my god.
yeah, so I've just been lucky to meet a lot of videographers and photographers over my journey, and so people. I'm a photographer, and I'm pretty good at keeping a basically like a Rolodex, a digital Rolodex of everybody that I'm interested in potentially meeting and where they're at, or the couple places. Some people bounce around. They'll be like, "I'm in Houston and New York." Work or whatever. So I built some relationships with some fantastic photographers, and so I am lucky to have a lot of pro photos, but I'm definitely not a model. But yes, so when you are trying to platoon for those big companies, you're going to want to have a polished look because you take it serious. I am blown away by people who will have the crappiest profile photo or a locked account with a shit profile photo, no mention that they're in the industry in any capacity whatsoever, come to me and say, "Can we shoot?" I'll say, for one, I don't even know who you are, where you're at, what you look like, and you got a locked account. So where would I get the following from? What am I going to benefit from shooting with this no face, no name? Yeah, no, thank you. So,
oh yeah. See
yeah.
like I said, of course, it comes to a point where they got to have something to bring to the table other than big dick.
Absolutely. I don't know how many times I've been reached out to because a producer will say, "Hey, you weren't my first choice, but we know you'll show up." I've heard that a couple times. They know if I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to fucking be there. And that's the whole thing. It's that level of professionalism, so.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So with that being said, Mama, tell everybody where they can spend some money on you.
Oh, well, my Cash App is that tongue though. THO. But my favorite platforms are going to be ManyVids, just out of respect. Mandie Maytag, Mandi Maytag, just like the washing machine. MandieMaytag.manyvids.com. / Mandie Maytag. Yes, I am still on that site. As well as I love for people to check out my X videos. Just go there, put my name, and clicking on a video that it's when that's on my channel. And don't forget to get it. And then of course you can always go to all my links / Mandie Maytag, and I've got everything all listed right there. So as long as you're over 18, you can see the adult links as well. And above and beyond having my platforms listed there, I also have referral, all the referral links. So if you wanted to come in and join any of these platforms, if you do join through one of those referral links, I'll take you under my wing, and I will help you be successful because because I'm in turn getting something out of it as well. So I have an invested interest. I have a vested interest in helping you out. So if you've thought about joining ManyVids, if you thought about joining OnlyFans or Sex Panther or something like that, let me know. Or go to all my links, referral links that'll say, being this or a content creator, whatever. You do sign up through one of the sites. So there's all that.
So there you go. So, and of course, Miss Maytag will be back Now the next one's gonna be a premium smoke room episode, so we're gonna get a little raunchy in that one. So, and you know how we always end it, people. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? You didn't learn anything. Smoke this over. Thank you.